Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. The group stage at Euro 2024 are over and the knockouts now commence. The first last 16 tie is Switzerland coming up against Italy in Berlin. The Swiss were just a couple of minutes from topping Group A, but a late Germany goal in the last group game pushed them back down to second. But for Switzerland, it was an unbeaten group stage of a 3-1 opening win to Hungary and then back-to-back 1-1 draws with Scotland and the host nation Germany. It was not as smooth for Italy as they started the tournament 1-0 down to Albania in 23 seconds but completed the comeback in the same half. But they were outclassed by Spain and almost beaten by Croatia. But a 98th minute Zaccagni equaliser put Italy through in second position. This will be the 62nd meeting between the two. 5 of the last 6 have been draws. The only game in that run which wasn't a draw was in fact in the last Euros, where Italy won in the group stage at the Stadio Olimpico 3-1 to Switzerland. The Swiss have beaten Italy last in May 1993, so they have had to wait for a long time to try and get one over the Azzurri. So, at the stadium, which will host the final in 15 days' time, will it be Switzerland or Italy to face either England or Slovakia in a week's time in the last 8? They are the possible opponents for these two countries. It's England or Slovakia. Them two countries play tomorrow at this time. And I think this is a really open last 16 game. For me, there's no favourite. Switzerland have looked really good in the group stages, haven't lost a game, almost beat Germany, but if it wasn't for a injury time equaliser, and for Italy, trying to retain the Euros after winning it in 2021 and just not been very good. Of course, it was a quick start for Albania in the opening game when they scored within 23 seconds, but they were able to turn that around rather quickly, which you would expect. But then against Spain, I mentioned it in the last commentary we did for Italy because we commentated on that game against Croatia, their last group game, and against Spain, they could have been beaten 5 or 6-0. They were outclassed, and they were very lucky to only lose that 1-0. Then against Croatia again, just the going forward for me, the attacking, they are missing that striker, that number 9 they can rely on, who knows in the game. Give them a couple of chances, one of them will go in the back of the net. They don't have that. Gianluca Scamacca is back in for Italy today, but he's only scored once in 19 caps for Italy, and that was against England in October last year. And then the backup striker who started against Croatia, Matteo Retegui, he's got 4 and 11 for Italy. And 2 of them came against Venezuela in a friendly in March this year. They just don't have goals, unfortunately. They've got almost the rest of it. They've got a very strong defensive back line. They've got quite a good depth in midfield. They've made a few changes in that department today. But then up front, there just seems to be a lack of game changers and natural out-and-out goal scorers who are in good form at the moment. And for Switzerland, they've only made 3 changes from the 3 group stage games, they including today as well. They are not one to change their team. Their manager at the moment, Murat Yakin, isn't very bothered about getting everyone game time. He is trying to keep a settled squad, and it's working at the minute. They are forced to make one change today, Switzerland, and that is Sylvain Widmer, the wing-back. He is out due to a yellow card suspension, but Switzerland have got a really good team. Safe pair of hands in goal, Jan Sommer, who won the Serie A with Inter Milan. They've got 2, well-known Premier League centre-halves with Cher and Akanji. And then up front, they've got some real pace and youth as well. So this is going to be an interesting one. Apparently, this is the first time Italy have played at this stadium, the Olympia Stadion, since their World Cup win in 2006, which is an interesting fact. It is hosting the final, as mentioned, in 15 days. And the winner of this tie will play England or Slovakia. This is the side of the draw which is rather open. The other side have the likes of Germany, Portugal, Spain, France, Belgium. This side is a little bit more kind. So I think any country on this side of the draw will fancy their chances of getting to the final, maybe a semi-final if it's for a smaller country who aren't quite reaching, haven't quite got sights on the final. Switzerland will 100% fancy this. That is for sure. Italy were very fortunate to not lose their last game against Croatia, scoring with the last kick of the game. And Italy haven't lost back-to-back games in European Championships. They were literally about 10 seconds away from doing that for the first time last week, but they were able to just about scrape that 1-1 draw, which put them into second. They may still have qualified in third if they hadn't have drawn, but this got them second place and a guaranteed spot into the knockout stages. If you are new, make sure you do like and subscribe. I'm going through the lineups very quickly right now. We'll start with Switzerland, like I mentioned just before. Just one change from their last lineup 6 days ago against Germany, and it is Jan Sommer to remain in goal, making his 20th appearance at major tournaments for Switzerland. The back three, Fabian Schär, Manuel Akanji, and the 31-year-old Ricardo Rodriguez, who is once of Torino, but is leaving them in the summer. He has been captain for them the season just gone. 4 in the midfield at right wing back is going to be Michel Aebischer, who scored in the opening game against Hungary. Usually a central midfielder, has never really been used out wide until these Euros, where he's been playing at wing back and he's been playing very well. Left wing back will be Fabian Rieder, who is currently at Stade Rennais in France. He has got 3 goals for the French club this season just gone. And 2 central midfielders, very experienced, very hard-working. Remo Freuler, currently was contracted at Nottingham Forest, but spent the season on loan in Italy with Bologna. And alongside him is the Basel-born central midfielder, and that is Granit Xhaka, making appearance 129 for Switzerland. He has scored in 2 World Cups, never scored in the Euros. He scored in World Cup 14 and 18 against France and Serbia. 3 up front on the right will be Ruben Vargas, who's currently playing his football in Germany with Augsburg. He has a Dominican father, hence the not-so-Swiss last name. On the left-hand side is going to be Dan Adoy, who scored his first goal for Switzerland in the last group stage game in that 1-1 draw to Germany. And up front, leading the line through the middle, back-to-back starts for him now, and that is Breel Imbolo, the Monaco striker. He scored in the opening game against Hungary to make it 3-1. And they are looking for their number 7 to be on the score sheet once again. For Italy, it is a huge 6 changes from that lineup against Croatia in the last group game. It is Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, a back 4-1 change, because Calafiori, who got the assist for that equaliser against Croatia, is out with a yellow card suspension. He was replaced by Gianluca Mancini. He'll partner Alessandro Bastoni with the 2 full-backs of Giovanni Di Lorenzo and Matteo Darmian, who keeps his spot in the team from that Croatia game. 3 in the midfield, where they've made 2 changes, one of them being Brian Cristante of Roma and the other being Nicolo Fagioli of Juventus. And to partner them is going to be Nicolo Barella, who scored in the opening game against Albania, to put Italy in front. And then 3 up front. On the right is Federico Chiesa, who made his 50th appearance for Italy in that last game against Croatia. On the left is Stefan El Shaarawy, who is making his first appearance in 9 after not playing any minutes for Italy in their last 8 games. And up front, as mentioned before, through the middle is their 6'5" target man of Gianluca Scamacca, joined Atalanta from West Ham at the start of last season and has scored 19 goals in all competitions for Atalanta, helping them on their way through to that Europa League win against Leverkusen in the final a month ago. And then we needed Gianluca Scamacca to start scoring some goals in an Italy shirt. Scored just once for them. That was in qualifying against England in a 3-1 defeat at Wembley. They need him on the big stage now. He's been chosen ahead of Matteo Retegui. And he's going to have a hard job, Scamacca, tonight, coming up against that really strong back 3 of Switzerland. Schär, Akanji and Rodriguez, plenty of experience in that back 3. Referee is Simon Marcinak, the Polish international, 43 years of age, refereed the World Cup in 2022 and the Champions League final in 2023. And like I say, 62 meetings now between these 2 countries, just once at the Euros, and that was in the last one in 2021. They were in the same group, and Italy won 3-0 at the Stadio Olimpico. 2 goals for Locatelli and a late one by Immobile, 2 players who aren't actually in the Italy squad this time around. So for Switzerland, unbeaten so far in these Euros. Italy have been beaten once, and that was to Spain, who look like one of the favourites now after very dominant performances in their group, winning 3 from 3 against Italy, Croatia and Albania. For Switzerland, I think a positive for them is the fact they have scored in each of their 3 games so far. Scoring 3 against Hungary and then 1 each in the Scotland and Germany game. And they are unbeaten in their last 7. Switzerland last tasting defeat in November 2023. Just 1 defeat in their last 17 since the World Cup in Qatar when they were beaten 6-1 by Portugal in the last 16. They'll be looking for a better run than that. They've got to the last 16 again in the Euros this time around, but they definitely won't want a 6-1 exit again. So we're about to get underway here in Berlin. Switzerland to kick off, kicking right to left. Italy, left to right. Which of these 2 countries can be the first to book themselves a place into the quarterfinals at Euro 2024? It's Embolo to kick off for Switzerland, going to the central centre-back of Akanji. Rolling it to his right to Schär. Going forward, high ball down the middle to Embolo, who will get there ahead of Mancini. Flags days down for now. Inside the box on the right-hand side. Embolo, tight angle, tries to get it across, deflects off Mancini. Throwing in the final third for Switzerland. An early way through there for the Swiss. There was a question for offside, but the assistant referee kept the flag down on that far side. And Switzerland have it on the right wing again. Trying to switch out to the left towards Aebischer, and it deflects just past the right-hand side post off Cristante. And it's a corner for Switzerland. Really good start from the team in red. Fabian Rieder trying to switch the ball out to Aebischer. It came off Cristante and deflects behind. Set piece for Switzerland, just less than a minute in. And it still remains 0-0 here in Berlin. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger. They crowd the 6-yard box, both the Italians and the Swiss, as the ball is crossed into the near post. Header away there by Bastoni for Italy. Barella will chase it, kicked away from him. Headed forward, though, by Mancini towards Barella. Headed on again by Chiesa that time. Going to be collected by Rodriguez. It goes back to the halfway line here for Switzerland with Freuler. And now they return it to the goalkeeper of Jan Sommer, who's won 6 league titles in his career, 1 in the season just gone with Inter Milan. He goes long towards Embolo, header won by Mancini, now in the centre circle with Barella. Keeps it away from Freuler, runs into Xhaka, who he then brings down. And he holds his face, Granit Xhaka, and it'll be a free kick for Switzerland, given away by Italy's number 18. Nicolo Barella, born in Cagliari and came through their academy for 14 years before moving on to Inter Milan permanently in September 2020. So free kick for Switzerland. They have definitely started the better. And so did Croatia in the last game that Italy faced. It's Akanji on the ball, not being pressed at the moment, as it's now with the number 22, Fabian Schär. Ricardo Rodriguez to Akanji, midway inside the Switzerland half. Being closed down by Scamacca, goes to his right to Schär. Goes back across to the left centre half here of Ricardo Rodriguez. Driving inside. Right-footed pass. It's a high one. Trying to get in behind the Italian defence. Can't quite find the run there. Thumbs up there by Remo Freuler. Making the advanced run from midfield. And it's just misplaced there by Rodriguez. And it's going to be a goal kick for Italy. Currently ranked 10th in the FIFA rankings. Switzerland 19th at the moment. And there is the head coach, Luciano Spalletti. The 65-year-old Italian, retired from playing 30 years ago. As Italy have the ball on this near side. Cristante clearing it down the line, not very far. Aebischer for Switzerland goes down over the challenger Cristante. And that'll be a free kick again for Switzerland on this near side. And they're taking it quickly. Going across to the right here to Xhaka. Now on the right wing here with Ndoye. Scored against Germany. Plays it inside to Embolo on the edge of the area. Try to turn away from Barella, but tackled by the help of Fagioli. And Darmian clears it. Oh, as far as Xhaka. Goes to his left here to Aebischer. On once more now to Vargas. Just outside the box on the left-hand side. One-on-one with Di Lorenzo. Onto his right foot. Playing it to the edge of the area again to Xhaka. Back out wide to Ricardo Rodriguez. Uses Vargas. Gets around Di Lorenzo. Crosses left-footed into the 6-yard box. And it's a header away by Bastoni. And it's a Switzerland throw-in on the near side. Putting the Italians under some early pressure here. Some good work in link-up between Vargas and Aebischer on the left-hand side. Vargas takes the throw, gets it back from A. Bishop. Now Ricardo Rodriguez, who can definitely cross the ball, goes to Vargas, pokes it away from one Italian. It deflects through to Freuler, who's tripped in the box, so he's in Bolo. Referee tells both to get up. And it's a Italy ball now, attacking down the left with El Shaarawy, who can just about run the ball out of play, throwing for Switzerland on the halfway line. Only second ever appearance at the European Championship, Stefan El Shaarawy. His last appearance at the Euros was as a late sub against Ireland back in 2016, a game which they lost, in fact, to the Republic of Ireland. So, not usually a starter for Italy. Doesn't usually get on the pitch, El Shaarawy. Didn't play any of the last 8 games for Italy. Switzerland on the ball, less than 5 minutes in, still 0-0 here in Berlin. Granit Xhaka on the edge of the 18-yard box, going back to Jan Sommer, the 35-year-old. Now over Kanji. Going across there to Jan Sommer, just in front of his 6-yard area. Waiting for the right pass. Going out to the right to Fabian Schär. First time ball forward to Ndoye. Loses out, does he? Yes, he does lose out to Darmian, who can shield the ball out of play. Throwing for Italy. Oh no, free kick for Italy? Free kick for Italy. I think Ndoye was just pulling the arm of Darmian. And Italy have gone all the way back with Donnarumma. Going to the left centre half now of Alessandro Bastoni, who came through the Atalanta Academy. Signed a new contract this time last year with Inter Milan. Contracted till 2028. This is Italy's first real spell on the ball. It's Mancini, diagonal switch out to the left. It's a high one. It's headed forward towards goal by Ndoye. El Shaarawy's first cross just mishits it completely. And Ndoye shielding it in the area. Goes down over the challenge, and that'll be a free kick for the Swiss. Given away there by El Shaarawy. Well won there and good defending. Working back there, Dan Ndoye. Spent last season at Bologna, who had a fantastic season in Serie A, finishing 5th with Thiago Motta. Just scoring the 2 goals though. One in Serie A and one in the Cup. Switzerland's play out from the back. Fabian Schär on the far side. Going to his left now to the number 10 and captain Granit Xhaka. 14 goals for his country. 12th appearance at the European Championships. Never scored though in this tournament. There's Rodriguez. Goes across to Akanji. We're still in the Switzerland half. With Schär. Going to Jan Sommer, who transferred to Inter Milan at the start of last season for €8 million from Bayern Munich. Spent a lot of his career in Germany, mainly with Mönchengladbach. Switzerland knocking it around nice until it's given away by Rieder. And it's now in the centre circle with Scamacca. To the right to Chiesa. Turning away from one and playing it out wide here to Di Lorenzo. And Italy again back on the ball. On the halfway line with Bastoni, who scored the first goal for Italy in these Euros. That equaliser against Albania. Barella caught from behind. Hobbling, but the referee doesn't see it as a foul. Italy can't have Barella injured. He's their main man in the midfield, but Switzerland still attack here. On the left-hand side with Granit Xhaka. Furthest wide is Vargas. He's now 1-on-1 with Di Lorenzo. Onto his right foot. Just going back to here to A. Bishop. Then back into Rodriguez. Barella is back to his feet and hobbles into a midfield position to just try and block out this Switzerland attack. Who were just patiently building on the left-hand side. Rodriguez now in the final third. Chiesa trying to tackle him, and he does get a nick to the ball, and now falls to Di Lorenzo towards the corner flag, who clears it low down the line, all as far as Vargas for Switzerland, who just about keeps it in, despite the nivelling challenges there from Chiesa. It's now back out to Vargas through Xhaka. Got Rodriguez in front of him. Goes back to A. Bishop. Really good patient build-up here from Switzerland, who won 4 of their 10 qualifying games, drew 5. They actually won 1 of their last 7 qualifying games, Switzerland. They won 3 of the first 3, and then 1 of the last 7, just drawing loads as a ball out wide left there by A. Bishop. Gets through to Rodriguez, but as he releases it, he was just caught on the top of the foot there by Cristante, who was substituted on against Croatia in the last game, and gets to start today. The Polish referee just keeps his cards in his pockets for now. It's still 0-0 here, 8.5 minutes in Berlin. So Barella's gone back down. Left leg issue. Went down just before. And the referee didn't see it as a foul. He was able to get back to his feet and just try and continue. I think a right knee. into the left hamstring by Freuler. Not a foul, just a bit of a coming together. So they are warming up some of their spare central midfielders on the bench, the likes of Fratesi and Pellegrini, currently warming up as we speak. It will be a Switzerland free kick. Barella just receiving some treatment. He's back to his feet himself. He's going to have to go off to the side here. Definitely feeling some discomfort, Italy's number 18. Hopefully it's something he can just run off. It's a chance for Switzerland just to launch this one into the box. Try and cause some havoc for the Italian defence. It's going to be... Well, there's a right-footed option of Vargas stood over it. It would be more of an in-swinger if he was to take. There's also Abisher stood over it as well, the left wing-back. He runs over it. Vargas actually plays it to the edge of the box to his right here, to Freuler. Then out to the right wing now to Rieder. Left-footed, cross goes in, can't be flicked on by Akanji, blocked by Mancini. Played forward by Bastoni to Scamacca. Touches it through to Fagioli, who's just been dispossessed there by Scher. And it's now back through to the halfway line for Switzerland. Just over 10 minutes in, it's still 0-0. Switzerland have started the much better side so far. Vargas can't get around Di Lorenzo. He can get around Di Lorenzo. And a 1-2 attempted with Abisher. Brought to the ground by Di Lorenzo, but the referee tells him to get up immediately. And Italy can try and play out from the back on this near side. Cristante going forward to Chiesa, trying to get it through Rodriguez, but he stops him in his tracks. And it's now with the left centre-back, going to the halfway line to Xhaka. Forward down the line now, back to Rodriguez, inside to Vargas, and back to Xhaka. Looking good here. Switzerland. And if England beat Slovakia, they will be playing one of these two nations, and Switzerland won't be an easy game. Crossing the box by Xhaka, met by Ndoye, didn't quite catch it very nicely. And that's trickled out quite far wide for an Italy goal kick. Don't mind that idea from Xhaka. Diagonal ball into the right side of the box, but as mentioned, Ndoye just couldn't quite catch it. Bit of a similar ball and a similar angle to, you might remember that very famous Van Basten volley in the Euros. Cannot remember what Euros it was, but his right-footed volley that came over him and he absolutely struck a beauty into the back of the net. But Ndoye doesn't quite have the the abilities of Van Basten. So it's Italy to build out on this near side again, not really using the left-hand side as much as Di Lorenzo goes down the line, just over hit there towards Chiesa, who wanted it more to feet. I think runs through just to the 18-yard box of Switzerland with Manuel Akanji to bring it forward via a pass through to Granit Xhaka. Yeah, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two have been draws, which is, rare, to have so many draws in one fixture. As 2 players have gone down for Switzerland. Vargas fouled with the latter by Di Lorenzo. Abisher also went down as well. Again, Marcinak, the referee, keeping the cards in the pockets. Abisher was caught by Mancini, but it didn't look like there was too much in it. There was a bit more contact between Di Lorenzo and Vargas. He's just receiving some treatment at the moment from the physios. And there is a very stylish-looking Switzerland manager, Murat Yakin. And his brother, Hakan Yakin, is the second-place top goal scorer in European Championship history for Switzerland. He's on 3 goals in Euros. The leading scorer for Switzerland in this competition is Shaqiri, who's on the bench for Switzerland. He's got 5 now, scoring once in this tournament against Scotland. So 13 minutes in. Still 0-0. Vargas currently off the pitch after receiving treatment, but another cross from the left-hand side here for Switzerland via the free kick. It goes in from Abisher. It's a deeper one, but it's well caught by Donnarumma. Well held as well. Not a great ball, really, from Abisher because it was towards the far post and no one was there. No one was even attacking that area. Probably just overhit it slightly. But it still remains 0-0. Italy just struggling to get out of their own half because the Swiss press is so intense. Cristante going for a switch out to the left off the head of Freuler. And right on the halfway line on this near side, it will be an Italy throwing. As I am assuming Vargas for Switzerland is back on the pitch, and he is, as Italy throw it back to the edge of the 18-yard box. The number 17, Gianluca Mancini, who's making his first ever tournament appearance for Italy. obviously not been able to play at any World Cups, Italy, due to just not qualifying, and he was injured for the Euros in 2021, Mancini, and he's in for this one, first ever appearance. Only making his 4th appearance for Italy in the last 12, so not usually a main starter. Coming in today for the suspended Riccardo Calafiori, who's got interest from plenty of clubs, the top clubs as well in Europe, Rome-born centre-half. As we're just less than 15 minutes in, still 0-0 in Berlin. Another man down here. Is it a Swiss player? Is it an Italian? It's a Swiss player. It's Granit Xhaka, hobbling slightly, but I'm sure it'll be okay to continue. They are just getting the central midfielder of Vincent Sierro to warm up, just in case Xhaka was needed to be withdrawn, but I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine to continue. There's still Italy on the ball, midway inside their own halfway with Bastoni. Forward to Cristante, lays it off for Fagioli. Out to the right halfway line, Di Lorenzo, making his 100th appearance under Spalletti. Of course, worked with Spalletti at Napoli, now with Italy. And he's played under him 100 times, Di Lorenzo, as they work it to the left-hand side now, Italy. El Shaarawy, midway inside the Swiss half, going to the right into the midfield to Fagioli. Now Di Lorenzo just slightly coming inside from full-back into a more central position, then firing out wide right to Chiesa. Plenty of red bodies back here for Switzerland. This is Fagioli playing it through. Great run from Cristante in the box. Squares it. Sliding challenge from Rodriguez. Puts it behind for a corner. But the first time, 15 and a half minutes in, that Italy have been able to get through the Switzerland defence, they've created one of the best openings we've had. And if Cristante just lifted that, of course, that would have gone over the sliding Rodriguez. But he's read that well. The Switzerland number 13, and it will be an Italy set piece corner kick. First of the game for the Italians. It's going to be an outswinger from the right boot to Fagioli. Cross goes in. It's a very deep one towards an unmarked El Shaarawy. His attempt towards goal was not very well cleared there by Reader. And Italy have it on the halfway line with Darmian. Left very free there, El Shaarawy, at the far post from that corner, and just could have done a bit more with it, but didn't quite catch it. And it just bounced through and was eventually cleared by Switzerland. Still Italy on the ball, trying to switch out to the right-hand side here for the running Chiesa. Will he keep it in? He can't quite keep it in. It's not a bad idea from Nicolo Fagioli, who missed 8 months this season out due to a betting ban. Returned for the end of the season with Juventus. But he's definitely made an impact. He seemed quite assured of himself when he came on in the last game against Croatia, Fagioli, and he's got off to an half-decent start tonight. When Italy are on the ball, he's looked, again, very calm. Switzerland knock up towards the halfway line to Mbola, who lets it run through for Vargas, and they're open here, Italy. Ball through out to the left-hand side, back into Mbolo on the edge of the box, crossing it to the far post, and it's an easy collection for Donnarumma. Again, just that final ball for Switzerland, letting them down at the moment. Mbolo was looking towards the far post for Ndoye, but nowhere near him in the end, as El Shaarawy's running the Switzerland defence, brought down by Xhaka. That'll be a free kick for Italy, about 28 yards out, just towards the left-hand side. 31 years of age now, Stefan El Shaarawy. Made 48 appearances last season for his current club Roma, scoring just the 3 goals in Serie A. Spent 2 years of his career in China, from 2019 to 2021. But Italy were open there. Vargas with the ball out wide left towards Reader, who'd just gone from right-hand side to left. He laid it off for Mbolo, and then that cross was rather shocking from the number 7. Not really been in the game so far, Breel Mbolo, the striker for Switzerland. A lot of their work has been out wide so far for Switzerland, but this is another opportunity from a set piece for Italy. It's 27 metres from goal. Looks like it's going to be Fagioli to probably cross this in for Italy. Jan Sommer directing his wall here. It's going to be a 3-man wall. And it's definitely going to be Fagioli to create something. He's going to scoop it over, and it's going to be a volley from Di Lorenzo that he can't catch. And it goes wide. that was really well disguised from Italy because it wasn't Fagioli who put the ball in the box. It was a cheeky little scoop from Barella who just dinked it over the Switzerland high line, right on the edge of the box of the line, and he was offside, Di Lorenzo. And he swung with his weaker left foot. A full-back shooting with their weak foot never ends well, and that didn't. But if it did end well and he caught it and got it in the back of the net, it would have been disallowed. But not a bad idea from Italy. And Barella just went a bit early there, Di Lorenzo. Probably the last player you'd want attempting a left-footed volley. The right-footed right-back Di Lorenzo. Switzerland play out from the back, midway side their own half, on the near side with Rodriguez goes back into Manuel Akanji. 3 goals for Switzerland, scored in their last 16 game in the World Cup in Qatar when they were beaten 6-1 by Portugal. Akanji scored to make it 4-1 that day, as he just about gets it back off Sommer, nearly intercepted by Scamacca in the box. Akanji bringing it forward, going to his left to Rodriguez, inside to the midfield to Abisha, and then a bouncing ball back to Sommer, being chased down by Cristante. It works its way to Akanji on this left-hand side for Switzerland. Now back into the number 1, Yann Sommer, who also won the Super Cup with Inter Milan, alongside that league title this season. Came through the Basel Academy, Yann Sommer, before spending 9 years at Borussia Mönchengladbach, making around 90 clean sheets. It's Granit Xhaka into the centre circle. Armband on that left arm. Slowing it down and just rolling it to the left to Rodriguez. Back inside to Xhaka. Forward for Rieder. Vargas to Xhaka in a more central area. Forward to Mbolo. Touch away from Mancini. And relaying it to Abisha. Tries the 1-2 with Mbolo, but the touch gets away from him. Cleared away on the penalty spot by Darmian, but only as far as the left centre-back of Rodriguez. And Switzerland will come again here. Just over 20 minutes in. Still 0-0. Xhaka lifting it to the right wing to Ndoye. Well flighted ball, and Ndoye running at Darmian to the edge of the box, laying it off for Freuler. It's now to Cher, slightly forward from right centre-back, and going back himself to Akanji. Into Xhaka, being closed down by Cristante, but releases it to the right here to Fabian Cher. And then back all the way to Sommer. Good pressing that from Italy, forcing Switzerland back from the edge of their box to the edge of the Switzerland box with Sommer. Finished second in their qualifying group, Switzerland, to Romania, who finished first, and Romania finished 5 points ahead of Switzerland just due to Switzerland drawing half of their qualifying games. Drew a lot of their games, Switzerland, and against some rather weak sides as well, as Vargas on the left-hand side, onto his right foot, edge of the area, Xhaka. Everyone behind the ball for Italy as he plays it through for Rieder, edge of the area, tries to play the pass to the left-hand side, but no one in the red shirts there, and it's going to be shielded behind by Chiesa. For a goal kick for Italy. Again, mentioned it before, just that last pass at the moment for Switzerland not quite working for them. Not really testing Donnarumma in the Italy goal despite the dominance of possession so far. I feel like once they get that pass right, they could get themselves on the score sheet. But yeah, just talking about Switzerland's qualifying campaign, drawing 5 of their games, they drew to the likes of Kosovo at home, Belarus at home 3-3, Israel away. So quite a few poor draws, really. Drew at home to Romania, who topped the group, and lost to them away 1-0. It wasn't the hardest of qualifying groups, and Switzerland made it rather hard for themselves to get through. But they're here, and they're in the last 16, going unbeaten in the group stage. And they're back on the ball here, halfway line, Freuler to the left there, still on the halfway line with Rodriguez. It's now again number 10. Granit Xhaka. £21 million signing he was for Leverkusen. What a signing he was. He's in between the lines of Freuler. Edge of the area. Try to slip it through for Mbolo. Cut out by Bastoni. Again, final ball. Not quite coming off here for Switzerland. Chiesa to Scamacca. He's been very isolated up front, and he gives it away very cheaply in the centre circle to Ndoye. Going back for some reason to Akanji. Should have gone forward. But Switzerland can just reset and start their patterns of play. Akanji into Xhaka, out to the left to Rodriguez. Bit of time here before Chiesa closes him down. Abisha round the corner from Mbolo. Darmian pushed up late, and Mbolo is in the box, trying to find the far corner. Well, saved by Donnarumma. Flag stays down for now. Still alive. Ndoye on his left foot, blocked by Darmian. Cleared not very far. Freuler will let fly from the edge of the box, and it's deflected away and into the gloves of Donnarumma. I'm not sure Mbolo was offside because Darmian pushed up very late as he bent his run, and I think he was onside. Really good run from Mbolo. An even better pass, really, from Abisha to put it into that space. And if it was just more in the corner, Mbolo may have scored. It was a bit too close to Donnarumma, who still had to dive well to his left to keep it out. But it wasn't as in the corner as Mbolo would have wanted. And that's the first big chance of the game, just less than 25 minutes in. Still 0-0. Switzerland's the much better side, and they probably should be ahead. Like I say, Mbolo just not quite finding enough of the corner to make that as difficult as possible for Donnarumma, who covers a lot of the goal himself anyway, being 6'6". As again, Switzerland find themselves on the ball with their captain Xhaka. It's now on the right-hand side to Cher. Not used their right-hand side a lot, Switzerland, and they are doing so now with Dan N'Doye midway inside the Italy half, going back into his own half here to Fabian Cher. That's what I quite like about Switzerland so far, not rushing anything. Cher, though, in between the lines, finding Abisha, lifts it up towards Mbolo, loses out on the first header, bouncing around, and he's been dispossessed by Fagioli, and then given away by Barella to Mbolo, 25 yards out, left-footed, shoots off the back of Mancini, and then played out to the left by Bastoni to El Shaarawy, who goes back to Darmian in the left-back position. Forward here to Chiesa, who's gone from right wing to left wing and shrugs off one Swiss player and gets beyond a second. And then plays it inside here to Barella, knocks it through once more to the right to Fagioli. This is a fluid attack so far from Italy. Fagioli trying to lift it into the box to Scamacca, comes off the head of Akanji, headed out wide left to Italy's Chiesa by Freuler. In the box, Chiesa on his right foot, curls it to the bottom corner, it's blocked by Akanji. And it's a corner for Italy. Definitely has been Italy's most dangerous looking player in this tournament so far. That's Federico Chiesa, playing on the right wing today, but found himself on the left there. And just his intricate, quick movement from left to right just puzzled a few of the Swiss defenders, and he was able to get a shot away in the end. So another corner for Italy, this time on the far side. Not quite sure who's taking it so far. Still 0-0 in Berlin. Fagioli, near post, header won by Freuler. Straight back out of play for another corner. A little bit of annoyed with himself there, Remo Freuler. Just heading it back out for another set piece. Another cross goes in, near post again, this time Mbolo in the 6-yard box with the header. Kept alive for Italy through Barella, who's being closed down by Vargas. Facing his own goal here, Barella, but could try and get it back in the box. He does go for the ball towards Cristante, and it's just gone over him and into the gloves of Sommer. He's just stayed up there, Cristante, and Barella tried to find him, wasn't too far away. As you can see in the crowd, those Italians just looking slightly stressed because they're definitely second best so far, but they have had a couple of half chances themselves from corners. Switzerland work it to the left-hand side here of Abisha. To Mbolo, shielding the ball and turning away from Bastoni, and out to the right to N'Doye. It's brilliant. N'Doye in the area. One-on-one with Darmian. Right-footed, deflects through to Bastoni, who can clear. And again, Switzerland finding those scaps now, finding the spaces and getting those passes right. Xhaka, midway inside the Italy half, forward through the middle to Abisha. Slightly to his right to Reader. On once more to N'Doye. Angles tight, gets it across the 6-yard box, and no one's there to prod it home. The only one running onto it was Reader, and it was well beyond him. No run being made at the far post there by Mbolo, who you'd expect to be making that run. The striker try to sniff out a goal or two. Still remains 0-0. Switzerland 0, Italy 0. Definitely like how Switzerland are playing. And Switzerland have only won 8 of their previous 61 meetings with Italy, not winning any of the last 11. Their last win against Italy was in May 1993. So they don't have huge success against the Italians as they try and build through the back here. Cristante's ball isn't great, picked up by N'Doye off Barella. Actually interested in N'Doye, Inter Milan, Barella's team at the moment. Also Manchester United are interested as well in Dan N'Doye, the Bologna forward for Switzerland. Rodriguez to Mbolo again, keeping it alive and holding it up and being tripped by Cristante. No, according to the referee, no trip, which surprises me, but it's still with Switzerland with Xhaka in the centre of midfield. Playing it to Mbolo. Try to play it into the box towards Vargas, cut out on the edge of the area by Di Lorenzo, but given straight away to Reader, who touches it great, drops to El Shaarawy, tries to play it through for Scamacca, overhit, and through to Sommer, who's adventured out of his 18-yard box to just give the ball to the middle centre-back of Akanji. It's less than half an hour in, still 0-0 in Berlin. The host nation on tonight as well. Later on, Germany taking on Denmark. Big switch out to the right-hand side from Rodriguez. Now Ndoye brings the ball down. He's now running at Darmian in the final third. Playing it back, though, here to Freuler. Across to Xhaka. Laying it backwards to Akanji as Switzerland are camped in the Italy half it. Freuler forward to Reader. Back out wide to Ndoye. Plenty of bodies in the box waiting for. He puts the cross in. Header at the near post by Bastoni. Headed back in by Schär. Straight through for Donnarumma, as everyone for Switzerland was coming back from an offside position. Definitely feel like if Italy take a lead here, that Switzerland will be kicking themselves. Donnarumma goes long with his kick. Beyond the halfway line, look for Scamacca. Akanji wins the header. Ndoye's pushed to the ground by Darmian. Foul on the halfway line. Free kick for Switzerland. And they're taking it quickly. Moving out to the left here to Aebischer. Scored the goal against Hungary. For Switzerland, there's a ball through towards Mbolo on the edge of the box. Runs through for Darmian. Barella gives it away to Xhaka. Aebischer in the box on the left-hand side. Forced away from the 18-yard box by Mancini. Plays the pass to Rodriguez. Back forward to Aebischer. Got Vargas on the overlap. He'll go in the box himself and cross it towards Mbolo. Flicked to the far post by Bastoni. Ndoye to Schär. Makes his way into the box. Step overs. Turning. Shooting with the left foot. Deflects to the edge of the area to Xhaka. Still alive for Switzerland. Is Italy having to sit deep and sit strong as well. Rodriguez from afar is going to strike it. And it's well over the bar. I think a shin pad flew off as well. Really put everything into that Rodriguez. Good 5 or so yards over the crossbar. Don't mind an attempt every now and then, as Ricardo Rodriguez is looking for his 10th goal for Switzerland. This is his 119th cap for his country. Been playing for Switzerland since October 2011 when he made his debut against Wales. Born in Zurich and came through their academy for 10 years before moving on to Europe. Spent a lot of his career in Germany with Wolfsburg before moving on to Italy, playing for AC Milan for 3 years, and then to Torino as well, where he's leaving in the summer. And he's on the ball again, Rodriguez, to the halfway line now with Granit Xhaka. Again, heavily using the left-hand side, Switzerland. But it's not because that's better than their right-hand side. Their right-hand side is equally as talented. Aebischer, great ball through from Akanji, slips it into the box from Mbolo, trying to turn on the centre-back of Bastoni. But it's just been tackled by him, and Donnarumma clears it. Rodriguez heads it off Chiesa, and that'll be a throw-in for Switzerland. Almost the perfect ball by Aebischer, but he's actually touched through to the goalkeeper by Di Lorenzo, who was sandwiching Mbolo with Bastoni. Akanji gives it away into the midfield with Fagioli. It's now back with Bastoni as Italy wanted to try and counter. But that's slowed down rapidly with that backwards pass. It's now with Donnarumma in the 6-yard box. Playing it to the left there to Bastoni. He will take it forward, being chased down from behind by Mbolo. And his pass goes straight out of play, looking for Barella. It's just not quite working for Italy. Long throwing, taken quickly down the line to Reader, who will keep it in on the byline. Reader in the box, plays it across, and it's straight to Donnarumma at the near post. Needs to be doing more with that. Fabian Reader joining Stuttgart on loan for the next season from Stade Rennais. Came through at Young Boys, 22 years of age, but that cross wasn't quite good enough for him. And Italy are in possession, 33.5 minutes in, still 0-0. It's now on the Italian left with El Shaarawy. Barella. Fagioli to Barella, just in front of the halfway line. It's now Switzerland's turn to sit back and defend. Chiesa on this near side. Back into Cristante. Fagioli turns it and goes out to the left now to Bastoni. Just the one attempt so far from Italy. Need to be doing more. 10 minutes till half time. In the final third, left wing, El Shaarawy. Keeping it away from Ndoi. And laying it off for Fagioli. Plays it into the middle of the park to Cristante. Barella caught out in possession by Freuler. And Switzerland can try and counter. They've got space out to the left-hand side. Rieder down the middle. Tripped from behind by Barella. And that'll be a yellow card for the Italy number 18. He was the one caught out by Freuler. And he was the one to bring down Rieder to stop the counter-attack because there was men over on the Switzerland left. The likes of Aebischer and Vargas were getting forward. Switzerland get the ball moving again. With Xhaka. Aebischer making a run from left wing back. And they find him. One-on-one with Di Lorenzo. Has to go back to keep the ball to Rodriguez. Akanji. To his right to Cher. Everyone behind the ball for Italy. Worked out to the far side to Ndoi. Darmian getting close to him. Now backing off. As Ndoi charges through the middle. Ndoi with the ball. Playing a pass through to Aebischer. Controls it away from goal. Chiesa's the one closest to him. It's now with Rodriguez outside the area. Aebischer again. Onto his right foot. Playing to his right to Xhaka. Back out left to Aebischer. Rodriguez again. To Aebischer. And Switzerland being patient. Even when they're close to goal. Don't want to rush anything. They want to try and create the best opportunity possible to get the ball in the back of the net. Xhaka. In the centre circle now with Akanji. Goes to the right to Cher. Italy start to press. Xhaka to Akanji. Forward to Mbolo. Touches in great, but he can nod it on to Ndoi, who gets it out to the left now to Vargas. Ndoi now overlaps. Vargas on the edge of the box. Plays the pass through. And Switzerland score! From the midfield. Freuler turns up for Switzerland and gets them ahead in this last 16. It is totally deserved. They have been fantastic in these opening 36 minutes. And they have got their reward with the opening goal of the game. Remo Freuler gets his first ever Euros goal. Sent off, in fact, the last time Switzerland were knocked out of this tournament when they were beaten by Spain in the last 8. But from that, he's gone from 0 to hero, scoring in this last 16 type. Vargas with a low ball into the box, just ghosts in alone from the midfield. You know, it's good vision from Vargas to find him. Freuler touched it with his right foot, bounced up on him, but was still able to get a decent left-footed strike on it, about 8 yards out, off the right foot of Donnarumma, who couldn't quite divert the ball away from goal. It's lacklustre defending from the Italians to let Freuler into the box like that and to allow him to touch it and to shoot pretty much on his own. Mancini tried to block, but couldn't stop it going through to Donnarumma, whose attempted save wasn't enough. And after a very dominant first half display, it is the Swiss ahead. It's Switzerland 1, Italy 0. Freuler with the goal. Spent last season on loan at Bologna, but he's joining on a permanent this summer for €4.5 million from Forest. And he's played really well in this opening 38 minutes alongside Granit Xhaka. And Switzerland are definitely a team to fear in this tournament. You know, they were a couple of minutes away from beating Germany in that last group stage game. Beat Hungary quite convincingly. Were held to a draw by Scotland. But if England go through and they beat Slovakia and they come up against Switzerland, I know who I'd be putting my money on. 1-0 in Berlin. First goal of this last 16 round of fixtures. Is Italy trying to attack straight from kick-off? With Darmian on the far side, leaving it for El Shaarawy. Having to go back to Fagioli. El Shaarawy was caught though as he released. So Italy will take the free kick. El Shaarawy just holding his right foot there in pain. Caught by the goal scorer, Freuler. Just having to calm himself after scoring his 9th goal for his country. Did score at the World Cup just gone in Qatar against Serbia, but he's never scored at a Euros before. Did chip in with 2 goals in qualifying as well. Remo Freuler. Cross goes in for Italy. Free header on the edge of the box by Xhaka. That's a shocking delivery by Fagioli. It needs to be offering more than that when it comes to set pieces. And it's now still with Italy in the centre circle. Cristante just rolling it to the right here to Barella. Now Di Lorenzo, everything to his left. Just goes back to Barella. Far side now. Fagioli. Back it goes into the number 13, Darmian, who spent over 4 years out of the squad from 2018 to 2022. Did feature in 4 of the 8 qualifying games for Italy, where they finished second behind England. Finished 6 points off England at the end of qualifying, after losing home and away to the team they beat in the final in 2021. 5 minutes left of the first half. Italy trail. Barella into the box, looking for Scamacca. Headed away by Rodriguez. Throwing on this near side for Italy. They want to take quickly, and he will do. Di Lorenzo throwing it as quickly as possible. And now they're working it to the left-hand side. El Shaarawy got the overlap of Darmian. Goes back instead to Fagioli. Turning away from Reader, and then back down the line to Darmian. Returns it to Fagioli, who's behind him. Bringing the ball forward into the final third. Laying it off for Darmian. Goes back to Barella. No one in the box for Italy, barring a late run from Di Lorenzo. Barella doesn't look for him. Keeps it moving. Chiesa on this right-hand side. Forward for Di Lorenzo. Chiesa gets the run forward, but Di Lorenzo forced to go back. It's now with Cristante. Mancini. To the left centre-back of Bastoni. Into the box towards Barella. Cleared into the air by Rodriguez. Back towards Bastoni, who beats Embolo to the ball with the header. And it's now on the halfway line with Mancini. Forced to go all the way back to Barella. Really good pressing here from Granit Xhaka. It's now with Mancini at right centre-back. Vargas closing him down, but he can work it to Di Lorenzo, who slips. And that'll be a throw-in for Switzerland. Di Lorenzo stays down there after the slip. Just lost his left foot. Is he injured? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest. I think he was just trying to slow down the Switzerland attack there, because obviously a throw-in in their own half would have been dangerous for Italy. It's Vargas. It's a great assist for the Freuler goal from the left wing, just to find him. He's not whipped it in. He's not crossed it in. He's passed it in really calmly to Freuler, whose first touch isn't great. Off his right foot into the air, but he hits it with the left, and it just takes a slight nick off Mancini. And then another touch off the right boot of Donnarumma and into the bottom left corner. Nothing will take that goal away from Freuler. And Switzerland are very deserved leaders as it stands. And Italy have got some working out to do at half-time. You know, they made 6 changes from that last group stage game against Croatia. So they are trying everything possible, the Italians, but it just seems like nothing's quite working at the moment for them. So Di Lorenzo just having to stand on the sidelines after receiving some treatment after that slight slip on the ball. Back underway. Di Lorenzo back on the pitch. And Switzerland have it on the halfway line near side with their wing-back Aebischer. Interesting with Michel Aebischer, the right wing-back, well, playing left wing-back today. Never played wing-back in his career until these Euros, but he's playing fantastically, usually a central midfielder. Reader going across the box to Aebischer. Keeps it moving to Xhaka. Now on the right-hand side with Scher. Forward to Freuler. Completes the 1-2. Freuler, a bit of space for a cross if he wants to. Slows it down. Doesn't fancy the cross here, Freuler. And playing it to Reader instead. Then back to Ndoye. Moving it once more now to Schär. Minute to go until half time. Switzerland bossing this game so far. They're setting the tempo. And they're playing to their speed. Ndoye. Back it goes to the halfway line to Schär. Bringing it forward from right centre-back. Likes to get forward, Schär. Plays it back there. Is he caught by El Shaarawy? Yes, he was. Yellow card for the Italian left winger. And Schär wins a free kick just on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. It's a bit of a wide angle, so it might be a bit difficult for a shot, but definitely a good distance for a cross. Yeah, just caught the left foot of Schär, who was getting forward, then had to play it back. And Schär stays down for now. Definitely caught. Will be a painful one for the Newcastle centre-back. So from the right-hand side, it's going to be a left-footed cross in from their number 26, Fabian Rieder. It's going to be a one-man wall of El Shaarawy, who gave away the free kick. And in it goes towards goal, and off the post, and off Donnarumma, and out for a corner. Everyone was expecting the cross, but he almost slipped it in at that near post. Beyond the wall of El Shaarawy. And I believe it's post first, then glove. Oh no, it's glove first, then the post, then back off Donnarumma. That's an unbelievable save. He saw it late, but got across goal and tipped it onto the post. And a bit of fortune with it, because as it came off the post, it hit his glove and behind for a corner. It didn't hit him and then go into his own goal. That would have been really unlucky. Corner goes in, header won at the near post by Cristante. Still in the air in the box as Italy try and get it away. Flicked away by Chiesa. And it goes out for Switzerland. Throwing 3 minutes added on. We've played a minute of it already. That is so unfortunate there for Fabian Rieder, who's not scored yet for Switzerland. Made his debut in November of 2022 in the World Cup against Cameroon. Almost catching out Donnarumma, but he's made some really vital saves in the first half, the Italy captain. As it's a throw-in again for Switzerland in the final third. Ndoye throwing it towards Embolo, but it was cut out by the outstretched right leg of Darmian. It's going to be a long throw-in by Ndoye towards Embolo. Free-headed over Darmian in the end. Towards Scamacca, nods it to his left to El Shaarawy. Blocked off though by Akanji, who takes it and plays it down the right hand side to Ndoye. Running at Darmian. Goes on the outside. Darmian got the touch and he pokes it behind for a corner. Switzerland ending the half as they started. Did that come off Darmian last? I'm not too sure. Did Darmian get a touch? I don't think he did, you know. They were complaining in Italy that it shouldn't have been a corner. I can see why. Doesn't look exactly like Ndoye got a nick off Darmian. It looks like Ndoye's touch was just too heavy. But the referee, Simon Marcinac, gives the corner and it's swung into the far post. It's overhit. And it's off the head of Schär and behind for a goal kick. But I think there's a foul in there. Donnarumma. Fouled by Ndoye. No, there's never a foul. Donnarumma goes down after a little shove. Nothing too serious. Not even a foul for me. Bit of overprotection for the goalkeeper there, Donnarumma. So Italy have it on the halfway line. Mancini. We've played the 3 minutes of added on time at the end of this first half in Berlin. And the referee will blow his whistle. And it's Switzerland who lead. And they have been the much better side. They could have had the lead earlier than when they actually got it. And Embolo went one-on-one with Donnarumma. It was saved by the Italian goalkeeper. And it was just that final pass that was letting down Switzerland. And it eventually came through in the 37th minute. Remo Freuler making a run from midfield, being found from the left wing after the ball was put in by Vargas. Right-footed touch, went up in the air. He left-footed a shot. He shot with the left foot with the volley. And it deflects off Mancini, off the foot of Donnarumma into the bottom left corner. Italy have had chances, but mainly just from set pieces. They've done nothing as a major threat. It's been pretty sound for Switzerland. They comfortably lead. Italy have got some big changes to make at half time if they want anything out of this game. As at half time in Berlin, it's Switzerland 1, Italy 0. I will be back for the second half, but for now, I'm going to take a quick 15-minute break. But at half time in Berlin, it is Switzerland 1, Italy 0. Hello, we are back for the second half of Switzerland against Italy. The Swiss already have a 1-goal lead late on in the first half through Remo Freuler with the goal. The Bologna central midfielder breaking through on his own. It's a bit of defensive calamity really at the back for Italy. The Switzerland striker, Breel Embolo, kind of pulled away the two centre-backs of Bastoni and Mancini, which left a bit of a space in the near post for Freuler to run into and score. You know, you've got to ask questions of where the Italy midfielders are possibly helping their defenders, because, you know, if they're both attached to Embolo, then they need their midfielders to cover the rest of the space. As it does look like Italy are going to make a change, which is needed because they've been, quite frankly, very poor in that first half. Just one shot wasn't on target. Switzerland had 10 shots, 3 on target, 60% of the ball as well. And Switzerland have been very, very impressive. And if they go through to the quarterfinals and they take on England, they'll fancy their chances 100%. Because we know how England have played in the opening 3 games, which have been the group stages so far. The Italy change is going to see their hero. It's a like-for-like change. Stefan El Shaarawy, who's playing his first minutes in the tournament, will be replaced by the goal scorer in their last game against Croatia, and that is Mattia Zaccagni. That was his first ever Italy goal. This is his first ever tournament as a player, the Lazio winger, and he's been substituted on again today to try and get them a goal because they need it, or they're out of Euro 2024. Italy have got probably about 50 minutes to save themselves. And if Switzerland can carry on their performance from the first half, then it's going to be very difficult for Italy to try and, you know, stamp their own authority on this game, because Switzerland have got their pattern, they've got their style. And Italy just need to try and find a way to break through, as they've got kick-off, kicking right to left, Switzerland left to right, and Fagioli, poor ball forward already, and they're on the back foot. Xhaka playing the ball out wide left. Run through made by Aebischer, found by Vargas towards the corner flag hit. Finding Vargas again into Xhaka, still just outside the 18-yard box. Widest left is Aebischer, ball inside to Vargas on his own. He's allowed to shoot, and that is brilliant. 30 seconds into the second half, and Switzerland double their lead. He assisted the first, he scored the second. And Vargas, single-handedly, is sending Switzerland through to the last 8. It was an Italy kick-off, and within 30 seconds they've conceded another goal. They have been ruthless down that left-hand side, Switzerland. It's where both goals have come from. And again, this left flank, Xhaka completing a 1-2, or thought about the 1-2 of Vargas, but instead went back out wide to Aebischer, who then went inside to Vargas, and just had so much time on the left-hand side of the box. Perfect for him, because he could shape up with that stronger right foot to bend it to that far corner. He got height on it over the outstretched leg of Cristante, over the outstretched arm of Donnarumma, who almost got there, and into the top right corner. It's quite similar to Zaccagni's goal for Italy that he scored against Croatia in their last group game. But this time it's against Italy. It's for Switzerland. They're 2-0 up. Vargas with a stunner. And Switzerland lead 2-0. From their own kickoff, they've conceded within 30 seconds. That is so poor. So poor. And the fact that Vargas just had a couple of seconds to get that shot off is just criminal. No one closing him down with any kind of will or want to do so. And Switzerland have got a 2-goal lead. They've not beaten Italy since 1993. This could be the game that changes the record books, and it's a Switzerland win which they're wanting, and they're currently getting it. Switzerland defending now as Italy have a throw-in on this near side, midway side the Switzerland half here with Matteo Darmian. Fagioli runs into Embolo. Rieder loses out to Darmian. It's now with Zaccagni, the left winger, through the legs of Freuler. And it's a foul. Zaccagni just runs into Freuler. Free kick for Italy, who've now got a huge mountain to climb. They won the last Euros in 2021. They were knocked out in the quarter-finals in 2016. They were runners-up in 2012, quarter-final in 2008. The last time they were knocked out before the quarter-finals was in 2004 when they were out in the group stage. So they usually get beyond this point, but they're struggling at the moment. Chiesa crosses into the box, far post, no one's there. Absolutely no one there. Seen through and behind for a goal kick there by Fabian Schär. And I think it's quite simple. Italy haven't got a style of play. Luciano Spalletti's only been in charge since September of last year. This is only his 14th game in charge. And his ideas have not been able to be put across this Italian team. You know, the Switzerland side have been under their manager, of Murat Yakin, since August 2021. This is his 38th game in charge. So you can just see the familiarity with Switzerland's style of play in terms of the players understanding it. And it's just a little bit of confusion for the Italians, who are now trailing by 2 goals 30 seconds into the second half. Vargas scores for Switzerland. It's his first ever tournament goal for Vargas. In less than 5 minutes in Berlin, 2-0 to Switzerland. The Azzurri have got big problems. Very big problems. Switzerland are on the ball on the far side. Abischer into Freuler, who's come across to help out. 1-2 with Vargas. It goes through instead to Mbolo. Turns away from Fagioli. Lays it off to the edge of the box. One more by Rieder, looking towards Ndoye. Cut out and cleared by Bastoni. Header won though by Xhaka. Goes back to the centre circle to Schär. Out wide right to Ndoye. Turns away from Darmian. No, brought down by Darmian instead. And that'll be a free kick for Switzerland, taken quickly. They're not slowing down here, the Swiss. Sakanji on halfway. Going forward towards Rieder. It's almost slipped through to him, but goes through to Darmian instead. Back to Donnarumma in the 6-yard box. Clears it first time. Out to the left-hand side. Well over the head of Zaccagni. It's a Switzerland throw-in. Might not be Italy's year this time around. You know, they've won one game this tournament. That was Albania in the opener, and they weren't exactly fantastic in that game. They were rather fortunate to get something from that. And the other 3 games they've played so far in this tournament, they have been woeful. And that's not taking anything away from Switzerland in this game in particular, because they've been really good and I've been very impressed. You know, a lot of people were favouring Switzerland in the build-up to this game just due to the fact that Italy weren't really performing that well. Quite very lucky, I thought, to get that equaliser against Croatia 5 days ago in Leipzig. As Italy do have the ball here, 6 minutes into the second half. It's 2-0 to Switzerland. Fagioli lifting it into the box, and it's Schär to hit it off the post. And Chiesa on the rebound tries to get it across. It's deep, and it can be cleared here by Ndoye. A hopeful ball by Fagioli, and it was Schär who felt like he had to head it away. Headed it back towards his own goal, and it hit the left-hand post and behind and away. Very fortunate there, Fabian Schär, as Italy thought they'd been given a lifeline, but not to be. They continue to attack. Lifted ball down the right channel to Barella, being followed by Akanji. Gets it inside to Di Lorenzo. Pass from Barella deflects off the number 17 of the goal scorer, Ruben Vargas. And it's a throw-in for Italy, taken quickly. Di Lorenzo going back to Cristante. Lifting it to Bastoni. From centre-back, going to his left to Darmian. Zaccagni in support, finds him. Final third, left-hand side. Plays a ball down the byline towards Bastoni, who's continued his run from centre-back. It hadn't already gone. And Bastoni had kicked it off Schär. So it's going to be a corner kick for Italy. Almost got one back there through that Fabian Schär header. But just feel like the luck's not on the Italian side so far. It's going to be a delivery in from Zaccagni, right-footed in-swinger, into the 6-yard box, header away by Akanji, drops to the edge of the area to Chiesa, his shot's been blocked. Goes all the way back to Darmian, who returns it to Donnarumma, who's midway inside the Italy half here. Plenty of time on the ball for the Italy captain, Donnarumma, who's been their number 1 since 2018 now. Just under 6 years as Italy's number 1. Made his debut for AC Milan at 16 years of age and 8 months. Halfway line is Mancini on his tournament debut for Italy. Finds Fagioli. Everyone behind the ball for Switzerland, barring Bolo. It's now Mancini going across to the left to Darmian, formerly of Manchester United. Bastoni lifting the ball forward, straight off the head of Cher. Goes under the foot of Ndoye, but he can get around it ahead of Bastoni, who has fouled Ndoye, putting his arm around him. Yeah, right hand into the face of Ndoye. And it's Bastoni to give the free kick away. Like I say, Fagioli putting the ball in there towards the penalty spot, where I think he was looking for the run of Chiesa. And it's a bit of a old phrase, but a bit of a 50p head. Tried to head it one way, but went the complete opposite, and off the post it went as he takes the free kick here quickly. Switch out to the left, and it's superbly controlled by Vargas in the final third, running at Di Lorenzo, and just getting the ball stuck under his feet there, and it's gone through to Donnarumma. Well defended in the end there, really, by Di Lorenzo, who's been struggling, the Italy right back, because Switzerland have been a little bit non-stop down their left-hand side as they've won it back. Brilliant challenge from Rieder. Ndoye in a central area, looking to go back out wide to the right-hand side, and he finds Rieder running into the 18-yard box. He's left-footed. He's onto his left foot. Pokes it back to Ndoye. Switzerland keep it moving. Xhaka to the left to Rodriguez. 25 yards out. He'll let fly. Comes off the knees of Cristante and deflects through a throw-in for Switzerland, who on this side of the draw will fancy a good run at the final here, because this side of the draw isn't too dangerous. Turkey, you've got the Netherlands, England, Italy, of course, Netherlands as well. It's a very open side to the draw. Aebischer through for the run of Freuler on the left wing. Inside to Mbolo, completes the 1-2. Freuler into the box it goes. Can't quite find Rieder. Cleared by Darmian. It's now on the Italy right-hand side with Chiesa. Tackled by Rodriguez. It drops to Mbolo, who can't quite release it. Tackle from behind, but from a recovering Chiesa. And again, 10 minutes into the second half. 2-0 to Switzerland. Scored 30 seconds into this second half through Vargas, after a poor Italy kick-off through Fagioli, who's now on the halfway line with the ball, going out to the left side to Bastoni. Now Zaccagni running it Ndoye, going on the outside of him. Zaccagni wanting to cross, bundled to the ground. Nothing given by the referee, but Zaccagni's back to his feet with the ball and turns Ndoye again. And now crosses to the near post. Header won by Cher. Drops to the edge of the area. Fagioli going across to the right to Cristante, who will hit the shot, slightly drags it. Bounces off Akanji, off the header Rodriguez to Aebischer. Switzerland can try and play out from the back. Vargas poked away from him by Di Lorenzo. And that'll be a throw-in for the Swiss in their own half. Still not really conceded too many big chances, Switzerland, in this game. Try and clear it up towards Rieder. Touches it to Mbolo. Rieder again, challenged and fouled by Mancini, who's holding his left leg himself injured. But Marcinac is not going to change his mind with the yellow card here. So Mancini in the book for Italy. Never played Champions League football, Gianluca Mancini, spending his last 5 or so years with Roma. Yeah, just goes through Rieder, but Rieder does just trod on top of the foot of Mancini, so I can see why he's in pain. But Italy have got just over half an hour to save themselves in Euro 2024. So Switzerland have a free kick in their own half here. Rodriguez goes to Akanji on the edge of the 18-yard box as Italy push forward. It's now with the goalkeeper Jan Sommer. Not been tested so far tonight. Xhaka across the 18-yard box to Cher. Back to Sommer. Zaccagni pressing. He can work it back towards Cher, who keeps it in play on that right centre-back position. Forward to Ndoye, around the corner, looking for a pass, and it finds it beautifully to Freuler. Just too much space in the middle for Switzerland to work with. Aebischer down the right channel to Ndoye. Takes all the time in the world. He goes back to Aebischer. He's gone from left wing back to right wing back. He'll return to his position now as it's Ndoye on the ball. Walking pace at the moment in the game, which is what will suit Switzerland, as they've been forced to go back here to Freuler on halfway. It's now for Scher. Forward to Mbolo, just dropping in from striker to link up the play with Xhaka. Curls it to the left to Rodriguez, who's now marauding forward on that far side. Laying it off to his left to Vargas. Into the path of Xhaka. Almost completed the unbeaten season with Leverkusen if it wasn't for that defeat in the Europa League final to Italian side Atalanta. Ndoye running in towards the 18-yard box. From the edge of the box, he's going to let fly. Left-footed, high, wide, nowhere near there. Unfortunately from Dan Ndoye. And that will be a goal kick for Italy. You've got to start doing something. They beat Austria in extra time in the last Euros, Italy. And then they went on to the quarterfinals and won 2-1 again against Belgium. And then it was 2 penalty shootouts to win the thing at Wembley against Spain in the semis and then England in the final. Italy go long up towards Scamacca, who's been completely uninvolved tonight, but he holds this up well against Akanji and flicks it to the left here to Darmian. Now Zaccagni, everything to his right in the final third. Needs to get past Ndoye. Goes inside to the midfield to Fagioli. Late run from Di Lorenzo. He'll try and be found, but it's a header away by Rodriguez. Oh, as far as Cristante. Italy can try and continue the pressure here. Fagioli. Through to the box towards Scamacca. Cut out by Akanji. Xhaka needs to clear it. Fagioli's closing him down. Works it to Rodriguez towards the corner flag. Takes a touch out of his feet and clips it up towards Mbolo. Header won there by Mancini fairly. But drops to Xhaka. Reader. Slide tackle from Darmian, seen as a foul. And that'll be a free kick for Switzerland just inside their own half here. Exactly half an hour to play of the 90, and it's still 2-0 to Switzerland. It's a perfect knockout performance from them so far. It's now Jan Sommer for Switzerland in the 18-yard box. Slow press from Scamacca. He plays it forward to Xhaka. There's a man on his back and he just gets it back to Sommer. And now to Akanji. Chiesa was the one who almost won it back there for Italy in the Switzerland 18-yard area. Ball in towards Mbolo. Can't quite find the Switzerland number 7. And it's now in the Italy half with Fagioli. Still just 3 attempts for Italy in this game. 0 of them on target. Towards the far side now with Di Lorenzo midway side the Switzerland half. Goes forward to Chiesa. No one in the box for Italy. Struggling a lot. Chiesa trying to get away from Aebischer. Still got it here, Chiesa. Strong tackle from Vargas. Last touch off the number 17. So it's an Italy throwing in the final third on that far side. Throws it back here to Cristante. Now to this near side to Darmian. Fagioli. Finding Zaccagni, the half-time substitute. Playing it into the centre of the park here to Cristante. Moves it on to the right now to Di Lorenzo. Furthest right is Chiesa. He's now on the ball. Crossing towards Scamacca over his head. Header away from Scher. Kept alive by Cristante. Fagioli helps it on once more to the left to Darmian. Returns it to Fagioli. Now to the halfway line to Mancini. To the right to Di Lorenzo. Defending well. Switzerland being very stubborn. Fagioli towards the final third. Just peeling out to the left hand side. Darmian. Back into Fagioli. Di Lorenzo, the right back, on the edge of the 18-yard box. Works it to Chiesa. Driving inside on the left foot, playing a reverse pass towards Scamacca. Straight through to Sommer. It's not a bad idea, but the end product wasn't good enough. And Italy are going to make another change when this ball next goes out of play. Switzerland in their own half, trying to play through this Italian team like they've done on so many occasions in this last 16 type. Embolo winning a free kick in his own half, being held up there by Mancini. And Italy can make another change here. They need to change something. And they're bringing off their best central midfielder, Nicolo Barella. Did pick up a slight knock in the first half. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the change, but a central midfielder off for their only other striker on the bench, and that is Matteo Retegui. Argentinian by birth, but can play for Italy via his grandfather. So Barella comes off for Retegui. So it's 2 up front for Italy. I'm just surprised out of the 3 central midfielders they brought off Barella. Touch forward into the box for Embolo. He's been tackled though by Mancini. It's now Bastoni to the left to Mancini. Plays it forward, but it's straight to Ndoye. And Switzerland have won it high up the pitch. In the middle of the park, Xhaka out to the left to Vargas in the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Gets around Di Lorenzo onto his right foot, squaring it again. Xhaka shoots, blocked twice, back to Xhaka. It's now to Vargas. A Bishop, touch sends him out of the box and has to play the pass back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez in a crossing position. His cross deflects off the back of Di Lorenzo and straight back to Rodriguez through Fagioli. Clips it. Ndoye with the attempted overhead kick. Doesn't get any contact on the ball. Can't he run through here for Zaccagni? Darmian tries to clear it. Comes off Embolo, who's closing him down. Played forward for Switzerland. Controlled by Rieder. Tripped from behind there by Fagioli. And that will be a free kick. And on the ball, in tight spaces, he has been really impressive tonight. The Switzerland number 26, Fabian Rieder. Just making his 9th appearance for Switzerland. This is just his 3rd start for them. His 2 starts previous came in the World Cup against Brazil and the last game in these Euros against Germany. So he's clearly trusted in the big games. Rieder. And he looks like a tidy little player, to be honest. So it's a cross from the right flank, about 25 yards out, very wide, so no chance for a shot here. It's going to be a cross here in the box from Rieder. One-man wall of Zaccagni. To be fair, I said the last crossing opportunity from a free kick for Rieder. He actually went on to shoot. That one is another shot, I think. Trying to go for the far corner that time, but it's overhit it and over the bar for a goal kick. Yeah, in the first half, there was a crossing free kick chance, but instead Rieder went for the shot and he almost got it in, to be fair. Really good save that was forced out by Donnarumma. Not quite the same there, unfortunately, for the Swiss, who give up a goal kick. So Italy need a goal sooner rather than later. They've got their 2 strikers on the pitch here, but they have been nothing short of shocking so far. Di Lorenzo at right back, going into Cristante. Lifting it into the box, looking for Retegui. Headed forward by Rodriguez. Helped away once more, but only as far as Fagioli. Italy still attack. Got just about a quarter of the game left to play. Bastoni. Fagioli. Space out for Chiesa on the right-hand side, and they find him. Looking to try and take on Abisha in the final third, playing it back on the angle to Cristante, who delivers it in, floats it to the far post towards Retegui. Header won there by Cher. Will drop to Darmian for Italy on this near side. He will let it roll for a throw-in. And he throws it towards Fagioli, who's just dropped in there. And Bolo trying to get it back, chasing it down, but he can work it into the centre circle to Mancini. Cristante's touch isn't great, but he keeps it moving away from Xhaka. And Italy still have it. Bit of possession now for them. To be honest, they're being comfortably beaten at the minute. It's not really even a contest as it stands. Mancini. Finding Fagioli. Just no real way through for Italy. There's Cristante. A bit of time on the ball at the right side of the midfield. Gets it to the right winger of Chiesa, running at Abisha. Going on the outside, trying to work across. It deflects off Abisha. And it will be a corner for Italy. If anyone is going to do anything in this game for Italy, it is going to be Federico Chiesa. He's the only player capable of doing anything in this game, and that's not even been that much, in fairness. Outswinging deliveries to the far post to nobody. It will go through to the edge of the box to Zaccagni, who's been forced away from goal by Reeder. It's such a bad delivery. It really is. Fagioli tries to put it back into the box, and it is straight into the gloves of Jan Sommer, who comes out to catch, and he rolls it out here to Xhaka, midway side his own half. They'll make it back to Rodriguez. Press here though from Retegui, closing down Jan Sommer, who plays it to his right to Cher. Down the line here to Ndoye. Finds Akanji. Touch isn't great. Taken off him by Chiesa. Scamacca now. To his left is Akanji just behind him, but he keeps it moving. Touching it through to Chiesa. Advantage is played. Chiesa on the outside of Ndoye trying to cross it. Then it deflects off Ndoye and out for another corner. This time on the near side. Zaccagni wanted the free kick on the edge of the box, but Chiesa had continued the attack. Going to be a right-footed in-swinger from Federico Chiesa. Crosses it deep. Headed one, though, by Cher. And it doesn't drop to Fagioli on the edge of the box. It's Reeder to get there ahead of him. And Switzerland can try and get on the attack quickly. Down the line for Xhaka. Holds it up on halfway. Because there was no real options around him. And he goes back to Abisha. And that is really well defended by Switzerland. "20 minutes to go. Still 2-0 to Switzerland. It's been an unbelievable performance from them. As this is now 3 times in a row that Switzerland have got out of the Euros group stages. 2016, 2021 and now 2024. And every single one of their knockout games have gone to penalties. They were beaten by Poland in 2016 in the last 16. And then they had to beat France in the last 16 in Euro 2021. And then they were knocked out on penalties by Spain in the quarters. So every single knockout game for Switzerland in the Euros have gone to a penalty shootout. Now Switzerland, with less than 20 to play, are going to make their own changes now. 2 of the wider players. So the number 26, Fabian Rieder, comes off for the number 2 of Leonidas Sterju. And the other change, we'll see Ruben Vargas, who scored and assisted tonight. He'll be replaced by number 14, Steven Zuba. Plays his football in Greece with AEK Athens. So 2 changes for Switzerland as they try and see this game through. Italy attacking again down the left-hand side. Zaccagni, 1-2 with Bastoni, who crosses into the far post. It's not a bad ball, but Retegui can't get onto it. Rodriguez trying to clear it, and he does clear it. Italy throwing. Just don't look threatening at all, Italy. Switzerland look more than comfortable. Scamacca, forced out wide, goes back to Zaccagni, just 2 in the box for Italy. What is going on? Fagioli to Cristante, forward into the box to Retegui, turns and shoots, and it's such a poor effort. Just slowly rolls down the throat of Jan Sommer. But there's less than 20 minutes to play. Italy are 2-0 down. They need a goal sooner rather than later. And they've got 2 players in the box when one of their players are in a crossing position. Just baffles the mind. It really does baffle the mind. But Switzerland won't care. They won't be complaining, and I don't blame them at all. because they're finding their way through to the quarterfinals, where they will face either England or Slovakia in a week's time. So it will more than likely be Italy on the ball now, you'd expect, for the last 20 minutes or so of the game, because they're the team who need 2 goals to keep this game alive. Zaccagni from the left wing, driving inside, touches heavy, but he keeps it moving away from Freuler, the scorer of the first goal for Switzerland. Cristante lifting it into the box to the runner. Zaccagni heads it on towards goal, and Scamacca hits the post. No flag up as well. The assistant referee keeps his flag down, and that's a huge chance from Scamacca, who wins it back on the edge of the box from Stergiu. Fagioli from afar is going to shoot. It's over and wide, and it's a goal kick. Don't know why Fagioli is deciding to shoot from there. He's never going to score. Cristante with the ball into the box. Zaccagni was onside. He headed it towards goal. It was going quite far wide in the end, and Scamacca helped it towards goal. And he hit the post, but Scamacca may have been offside from the Zaccagni header. Is Italy make 2 changes of their own. Number 10, Lorenzo Pellegrini, comes on for Cristante, and Darmian is off for Andrea Cambiaso, the Juventus left-back. Signed a new 5-year deal with Juventus in May of this year. And, you know, they've pretty much got all their attacking powers on the pitch now, Italy, with 15 to play. Switzerland coming forward down the left-hand side with Rodriguez, going back to Xhaka, who's midway inside the Italy half. Going out wide now to A. Bishop. Turning the ball to Rodriguez. It's now Freuler. Xhaka. A. Bishop. So easy for Switzerland to keep the ball. Zuba. Forced to go back towards the halfway line to Rodriguez. It's now Akanji. Xhaka allowed to turn forward and play the pass forward to Zuba. Can't slot it through for Ndoye. Italy now on the ball. Zuba with a push, and that's a free kick for Italy. Just try to get to the pace of the game. Steven Zuba. As Italy switch out to the left to Zaccagni. Just no real intensity or urgency from Italy. And it's confusing to watch how they're almost just letting themselves get knocked out of this tournament. You know, this is the Euros they're trying to hold, trying to, you know, keep as their own. Scamacca from the edge of the area connects with the ball and sends it flying over the crossbar. Ball into the box from Fagioli, nodded down by Scher, straight to Scamacca, who sliced it, and over the bar it went. And I just don't get Italy. They're trying these little dinked balls in behind the Switzerland defence. They've got 3 centre-backs. There's not lots of room to get in behind. And they keep trying the same thing. Switzerland going to make another change. One of their more direct players, Dan Ndoye, will be coming off here for the number 16, Vincent Sierro. Didn't play any of the qualification games because he only made his debut in March of this year. But he has come off the bench against Hungary and Scotland, and now here against Italy. And the second change will see Breel Imbolo, the striker, who's occupied the 2 Italian centre-backs really well. And he'll be replaced by number 18, Kwadwo Dua, the Ludogorets striker, who was actually born in London, moved to Switzerland at a young age. And he's now 27 years of age. He made his debut in the June of this year before these Euros. Dua, who scored and started against Hungary in the opening game. And here he is on the ball, playing the ball forward towards Stergiu. He goes back to the halfway line now to Freuler. It's now Sierro, the central midfielder, off the bench for Switzerland. Stergiu kicks it off to Zaccagni. Throwing for Switzerland, well, won there by their number 22, Stergiu, who was actually the under-21s captain for the last 3 years before being promoted to the senior side this year. As Bastoni concedes a corner, closing down the Sierro cross. Couldn't quite avoid the corner. And it'll be a set piece for Switzerland as they are strolling through to the last 8 of Euro 2024. .12 to play. Still 2-0 in Berlin to Switzerland. Sierra with the cross to the near post. It goes all the way through to the edge and it's hit by Freuler. And he sends that one flying. We've had quite a sequence of really bad shots on goal. A lot of them are going very high over the crossbar, not quite getting their body over the ball. The players who are currently taking strikes in this game. So Italy now in the Switzerland half, in the middle of the park with Fagioli, who's been brought in today to start ahead of Jorginho. And he gave away the ball really cheaply at kickoff, which gave Switzerland their second goal. Di Lorenzo on that far side, being forced to go back by Aebischer. It's now Mancini. Bastoni just in front of the halfway line. Wanting to go forward, but there's no real clear option. Scamacca can't find the ball inside to Retegui. Cut out by Xhaka. And Switzerland are away. Dua getting the first touch ahead of Bastoni, but Bastoni got his body in front of him and deals with it for Italy. Really key defending there by Alessandro Bastoni, because Dua is fresh off the bench, wanting to score again in these Euros. Bastoni's on the halfway line here with the ball. Just over 10 minutes of the 90 to play. Cambiaso. It's now Mancini on the opposite side. Playing the ball to Di Lorenzo. Just no way through for Italy. They do not know what to do. It's been so good from Switzerland. Knocking out the hold as it stands. Zaccagni on the left wing. Onto his right foot. Crossing it straight onto the head of Akanji. Straight to Pellegrini for Italy. So they will come again. But from the centre circle. Bastoni. Camped in the Switzerland half. Posing no threats. They have still not tested Jan Sommer properly. It's been a comfortable game for him. Cambiaso down the line for Zaccagni towards the byline. Tackle by Aebischer. And the last touch comes off Zaccagni. And that's a goal kick. It was actually Cher with the slide tackle, forcing the last touch off the Italian and winning his team a goal kick. It's unbelievable defending. And it looks like Italy could be bowing out at the last 16 here. Not exited the Euros earlier than the quarterfinals since 2004. They have won the Euros twice, Italy. First in 1968, then of course the last one in 2021. They lost 2 finals in 2000 in France, and then in 2012 against Spain. From the goal kick, Switzerland try and go long, but it goes all the way through to Mancini. So Italy can try and attack again. Not even look like scoring. It's as simple as that. Bastoni. Everyone behind the ball for Switzerland, and you can understand why. They have really got something to hold on to and something to protect. Not just the one goal, but the 2. Chiesa, left-footed from the right-hand side, crossed into the box. Akanji with another header that he's won, but straight to Fagioli. Pokes forward by Dua, cleared by Akanji. Now back with Dua for Switzerland. Going into Xhaka in midfield. Out wide it goes to Aebischer. Forward and in behind for Zuba. That's a brilliant pass. And Zuba's away for Switzerland, waiting for support. Turning away from Di Lorenzo. Playing it back into Xhaka, who plays it back through for Zuba. Angle's tight, but he'll go for the shot. And it goes across goal. Was it touched on by Donnarumma? Don't think it was, so it'll be a throw-in for Italy. In behind Di Lorenzo, who's just had a really, not even a bad game because it's not his fault. He's just been bombarded down that Switzerland left-hand side. No touch off Donnarumma from the Zuba shot / cross. That'll be a Cambiasso throw-in for Italy. 7 to play in Berlin. Still 2-0 to Switzerland, and it's a Switzerland throw-in. Cambiasso threw it to Fagioli. He tried to touch it back towards Cambiasso. It was slightly short. Freuler kicked it back off Cambiasso, and that is why Switzerland have got themselves a throw-in in the final third with Stergiou. It's now Sierro to Dua, just outside the box, tries to get the ball into the box, but he's just been bundled to the ground by Mancini. Last touch off Dua, and it's a goal kick for Italy, taken short by Donnarumma here to Mancini, who will stride forward with the ball. It's now Pellegrini, drifting out to the Italy left. Zaccagni finds Pellegrini. Back to Bastoni on halfway. Do apologise. That's Bastoni. Long ball into the box towards Retegui. Heads it inside, but no one's there. I mean, obviously, I'm English, so if I want anyone to go out at these Euros, it's Italy after the last one. But watching them try and get a goal in this game, remember, one goal isn't even enough. They need 2. And just the way they're trying to get this goal is just painful to watch. Chiesa on the right wing crosses deep towards Retegui, nods it back down again, but no one's there. It's only him and Scamacca in the box. Does drop out to the left wing to Zaccagni. Edge of the area. Pellegrini shooting from afar. And sending it well over the crossbar and wide. Italy deserve to go out. There is not a question. These last 3 games they've played in this tournament, against Spain, Croatia and Switzerland, they have been second best by far. And needing 2 goals and having just 2 players in the box when you're crossing it is just criminal. You can't be having that. Oh man, it's a hard watch, I can't lie. Switzerland have been brilliant. I've enjoyed watching them. But trying to see Italy break through this Swiss team, it's been a painful one, it must be said. Sommer goes long from the goal kick. Headed forward by Zaccagni. Touched out by Retegui, sending himself wide, and he does keep that in. But it'll be Cher to get there ahead of him. He's now back with Jan Sommer. Going out wide left here to Rodriguez. Being closed down here by Chiesa. Goes inside to Xhaka. Then a big kick forward up towards Zuba. Headed forward by Mancini instead, but straight to Abisha. You can't quite keep it in. Italy throwing. 4 to play. Switzerland 2, Italy 0. And we're going to get another Italy change here. Number 21, Nicolo Fagioli, to be replaced by Davide Fratesi, who started the first 2 games of these Euros but had been dropped to the bench for the last 2. Fagioli at fault for that second goal. A poor kick forward from kick-off gave Switzerland the ball and they scored from it. Zaccagni getting away there from Sierro. Pellegrini lift it into the box for Zaccagni. Still alive in the area. Retegui can't quite bring it down. Cher was in the way. But Switzerland can't find Dua up front. Bastoni lifting it in towards the box again. Scamacca goes down. Header away by Rodriguez. Kept alive by Di Lorenzo. It's Chiesa on that far side. Going inside to Pellegrini. Crossing deep. And it's fell here to Cambiasso. Kicks it across. It deflects through to Freuler, who will bring it away from the 18-yard box. And Switzerland can try and break if they want to. Sierro trying to go forward and into the middle there to Dua. But straight to Mancini instead. Italy want a handball there from that cross, which may have came off the arm of Stergiou. But I didn't see a handball in there, to be honest. 3 minutes to go here. Italy still need 2 goals. Switzerland fans already bouncing in the ground. They have a feeling they're already through to the last 8. Bastoni, another clip ball up to the edge of the box. A header away by Rodriguez. Aiming for Scamacca. Dua pulls down Mancini. And that'll be a free kick for Italy. Taken quickly. Trying to go again here, the Italians. Mancini. Back into Pellegrini. on the left-hand side. Cambiasso, there is an angle for a cross. He puts a good cross in as well. No one attacking it. Goes right out of play for a Switzerland throw-in right next to the corner flag. It's not a bad ball that from Cambiasso. And when you've got a 6'5" Scamacca in there, you're going to hope he's going to try and get the end of it, but he was nowhere near it. Good whipped cross. Just the right whip to keep it away from Sommer. And these Switzerland fans are loving it. The next door neighbours, Switzerland and Italy. I don't think the Italians will be letting... I don't think Switzerland will be letting the Italians forget this anytime soon. Not beating them since May 93. It's a long time coming, this victory. There's a free kick for Switzerland. Sierro goes down after the aerial challenge from Pellegrini. He's just having a chat with the referee, Marcinac. Not got any cards out. It's going to be taken by Jan Sommer. Down the Switzerland left. It's a huge kick into the 18-yard box, and it can be headed backwards by Mancini to Donnarumma. He's got real distance on that there. Jan Sommer. And Italy can come forward again. We're into the last minute of the 90. Looks like Switzerland are going to be through. And they could not be more deserved winners. As Scamacca can't link up there with Cambiasso. And Switzerland have it back on the far side with Zuba. Finding Aebischer. And then inside to Xhaka. Could they get a third to seal it? Zuba. Forward here. And then a pull down. But Zuba will continue getting the ball back. Off Sierro, sorry. Xhaka. Aebischer in the final third. Just kicks it off Di Lorenzo. Italy have it back with Chiesa. Gets away from one challenge. And Italy needs to try and get a goal now if they want any chance. Chiesa doesn't know where the next pass should go. And he turns back. And he goes backwards. Oh my word. This is honestly a painful performance. And only 2 minutes they've added on time. That shows you how little has happened in the second half. We've not had any stoppages. We've had the one goal at the start of the half. And that was it. And I think Switzerland know it's their time again to go to the last 8 of the Euros. They got to the last 8 in 2021, but were beaten on penalties by Spain. They can have another crack at it next time around. They could be taking on England if they go through against Slovakia tomorrow. Italy try and go down the right side this time. Chiesa, 3 in the box, I think. As he goes on his left foot and he tries a shot. Oh my word. It goes for a throw-in. In fairness, I think from Chiesa, that's just frustration. I don't think there's anything more than that. There's a minute to go. Switzerland going to make their final change of the game, I presume. And they're going to bring off their number 20, Michel Aebischer, who's been really good on that left-hand side again. And he'll be brought off for Renato Steffen, currently playing his football with Lugano. Finished second with them. Scored 6 in the league, assisting 13 times. Played 9 of the 10 qualifying games, scoring 3 times as well. He was injured for the Euros in 2021, Steffen, but he's here playing in this one, and this is his first ever European Championship appearance. As from the throw-in, Dua has nodded it to his left to Zuba. It's now the substitute Steffen. And in the last 20 seconds, does Switzerland fancy a third? I don't think they do. I think they're just going to keep it. Xhaka, Steffen, out to the left to Zuba. And it's into the Switzerland half of Rodriguez. Been forced to go back to their goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. 5 seconds left of added on time here in Berlin. Referee checks the watch and blows the whistle. And the holders are out. Italy are knocked out of Euro 2024 comfortably by Switzerland. It's their first victory against Italy since May 1993. And that is as one-sided as you can get. Italy looked clueless. Switzerland look very strong. They will certainly be a team that other nations will worry facing going into these latter stages. And it's definitely not the way they wanted to try and guard their European crown. But it has been stolen by the Swiss who will fancy going through to a final here. They're on the nice side of the draw. And in a week's time, they will be taking on either England or Slovakia. They've got past Italy. 2-0. A goal in the first half from the central midfielder of Remo Freuler, assisted by Vargas, who scored in 27 seconds after the start of the second half. A giveaway ball from Fagioli from kickoff for Italy. And Switzerland set off down the left-hand side. And inside the box, Vargas, right-footed, opened up the body. Too much time for him to shoot. Bent it into that far corner beyond Donnarumma. It was a beautiful finish. And that was enough for Switzerland to knock Italy out. And at the end here, in Berlin, it finishes Switzerland 2, Italy 0. Switzerland quickly becoming a little bit of a dark horse here. And it would not be through luck that they go very far in this competition. I can see Switzerland getting to at least the semi-final if they play like that. Of course, they could have England next, possibly, which would be a very challenging game for England if they are to face Switzerland. I think England will have their work cut out if they come up against a Switzerland side performing like they did. But they're through to back-to-back quarter-finals, and their fans are loving it. Loud and proud in Berlin. And that is going to be the end of this live commentary. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. As here in Berlin, in the last 16 game, Switzerland have taken on Italy and have destroyed the holders. Switzerland through, Italy out, as here in Berlin. It finishes Switzerland 2, Italy 0.